breaking down.
Hold on, we're gonna hit it back. Hit it back.
Yeah. It's on.
It's on.
Breaking down the walls of the crying to the mountains.
Yeah. Keep going.
And Elam bare the quiver with chariots of men and horsemen.
Jump to 8.
This is verse 8. And he decided the cover.
He discovered. He discovered.
And he discovered the covering of Judah.
Right. He discovered the covering of Judah. The protection of Judah. It is discovered now, man. Because back in those days we built walls to guard our city, man. You know, now it discovered. So keep going.
And thou didst look.
He said Judah though. The Negroes, but that's from all the tribes, man. You know, because scriptures say Israel come from the waters of Judah, man.
And thou didst look in that day to the armor of the house of the forest.
Yeah. So look. So Judah is going to look for carnal things to protect itself.
Verse 9, ye have seen also the breaches of the city of David.
See the breaches, and our people is filled with breaches, man. There's no protection for them, man. They keep going.
That they are many, and ye gathered together the waters of the lower pool.
Right. Sometimes they try to make their walls stronger, try to fill the breaches up. That's what they do for you know, if you know that enemy about to attack you, you would make your wall stronger. Ain't nothing it's nothing that they can do to make their wall stronger here, man.
Yeah, like when the flood come to make they levees or whatever stronger, they put like sandbags behind that shit to try to strengthen that shit.
That's deep too, because they said that we would have healed back when the shit is not healed. He said take balm for pain. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at balm, it's like same thing like you got like a lip balm. It's to heal, it's to heal the sores and shit. Like you said, some ointment, man.
Hey, that's why the scripture say that they basically testify
Mortar. Yep. So when you look that up, that's like a broken, untempered is a broken down wall. Built up mortar is basically like a wall, like bricks laid up together. Untempered mortar is broken up bricks.
Yeah, it's funny how like some when people like say like you have like a short fuse or like you're angry all the time, you have a temper. But that just means like you really like starving. It probably goes back to like being like well grounded, not taking shit basically.
Verse 10, and ye have numbered the houses of Jerusalem, and the houses have ye broken down to fortify the wall.
Yeah, trying to fortify the wall. Keep going.
Ye made also a ditch between the two walls for the water of the old pool.
Right, they trying to mobilize themselves in the wrong way. They doing that shit now. Jacob's is mobilizing themselves in the wrong way. You know?
For ye have not looked into the Maker, therefore,
Hold on. Ye have not looked into the what?
the Maker.
Ye read that part of back. Read that part of back, bro.
For ye have not looked unto the Maker.
So he said, look, they try to mortify the wall, they try to build the ditches, they try to goddamn put swords in women's hands and men's and everybody hands, but they ain't even think about the Maker. Keep going.
Therefore, neither had respect unto him that fashioned it long ago.
Right, not even the one who even built this motherfucking place, man. Who fashioned it? Who made it strong? You haven't even thought about that. Keep going.
And in that day did the Lord Yahweh of hosts call to weeping, and to mourning, and to baldness, and to girding with sackcloth.
Keep going.
And behold, joy and gladness, slaying oxen and killing sheep, eating flesh and drinking wine.
Right. So they didn't mourn, as the scripture said, they supposed to mourn, put ashes upon their head, and gird themselves in sackcloth. Right? That's what you're supposed to have done to show you humble. That's what we're doing now. We look, hey, we mourn. We're in the most safe, and these are sackcloths we got on, man. That's what we're doing. So instead of that, They was killing of the sheep, oxen, and what else they said? And what else they said?
Eating flesh and drinking wine.
So eating food and drinking wine.
Let us eat and drink, for tomorrow we shall die.
For tomorrow we shall die. So they just lost all faith, man. For tomorrow we shall die. So let's not do the right thing to get right with the Lord. They just said, fuck it, let's party, because tomorrow we're gonna die. Right?
This is 2 Chronicles, chapter 16, verse 1. Matter of fact, it says, in the 6th and 13th year of the reign of Asa, Asa, king of Israel, came up against Judah and built Ramah, to the intent that he might let none go out or come in to Asa, king of Judah. Then Asa brought out silver and gold out of the treasures of the house of the Lord and of the king's house, and sent to Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, that dwelt at Damascus, saying, so this was a Israelite king, man. All right, he was king of Judah at the time. All right, and he was basically he was depending on a fucking heathen, man. All right, it goes deeper and says, there is a league between me and thee. This is what King Asa told Ben-Hadad, king of Syria. And it says, as there was between my father and thy father, behold, I have sent thee silver and gold. Go, break thy league with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may depart from me. So at the end of the day, this fucking heathen, he had a league with Israel, and he had a league with the king of Judah. He had a league with the king of Israel and the king of Judah. Goddamn heathen, man. You playing both sides, man. Whatever convenient. And because Asa brought the silver and gold, and he wanted them to, you know? Yeah, but I'm going to keep going to get to the point. It says, and Ben-Hadad hearkened unto King Asa, and sent the captains of his army against the cities of Israel, and they smote Gion and Dan and Abel Maim and all the store cities of Naphtali. And it came to pass when Baasha heard it, that he left off building of Ramah and let his work cease. So, hey, the king of Israel, he got ran out of there, man, basically. And it says, then Asa the king took all Judah, and they carried away the stones of Ramah and the timber thereof, wherewith Baasha was a building, and he built therewith Gilboa and Mizpah. And at that time Hanani the seer came to Asa king of Judah, and said unto him, because thou hast relied on the king of Syria, and not relying on Yahweh Shem Shaddai power, therefore is the host of the king of Syria escaped out of thine hand. So basically, just what the brother was going into, they depend on Israelites, they depend on everything except Yahweh Shem Shaddai. Basically, that was it, right?
That was good. Keep going, right?
This is verse 15 on Isaiah 22. Thus said the Lord power of hosts, go get thee unto this treasure, even unto Shebna, which is over the house, and say.
Right, yeah, because Israel, we deal with leaders, man. We always got a leader to know what to do. Because there's always someone that the Most High is dealing with. So right now, Shebna was one of the heads of the house. You know, he was like the apostles, you know, how we look toward the apostles. But Shebna was he was wicked though. You know, I'm just saying. Keep going.
Verse 16. What hast thou here? And whom hast thou here? That thou hast hewed thee out of a spectre here, as he that hewed with him out of a spectre on high.
Yeah, what that's talking about is Jake. Jake is giving up on life. Jake is ready to die. So they building themselves tombstones. You know, getting ready to die. They gave up on life. Keep going. Hey, y'all some Israelites, man. Hey, y'all some Israelites.
Don't be destroyed by missiles.
That's right.
Keep going, man.
As he that healed him.
Hey, call it out.
This is Isaiah 22:16.
Hey, that was there when we was getting siege. Them our brothers, sisters, people.
Thou hast healed thee out of a spectre here, as he that healed him out of a spectre on high,
Right.
and that graveth in habitation for himself in a rock.
Right, you think you gonna die an honorable death by depending on men? No, man, you can't go out like that, man. Only way you go out with some form of integrity, you die in this truth, man.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
Behold, the Lord will carry thee away with the mighty captivity, and will surely cover thee. He will surely violently turn and toss thee like a ball into a large country.
Yeah, that's what he did. That's how we in America, man. Y'all didn't depend on the Most High. You know, y'all depending on men and building up walls. You know? Come on, bro.
There shalt thy die.
There shall you fucking die then, man. You know, since you build yourself eventually a tombstone, and look, I'm gonna die this honorable death. I'm gonna leave a name for myself. Trust me, man. When you gonna die, your little your tombstone, man. Come on, bro.
And there the chariots of the glory shall be the shame of the Lord's house. And I will drive thee from thy station, and from thy state shall he put thee down.
Yeah.
And it shall come to pass in that day
It shall come to pass in that day,
that I will carry my servant
Eliakim,
Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah.
Right, so Eliakim, so he like, look, I'm gonna give my spirit that you got on you, I'm gonna give it to another man who did depend on me, man. Who didn't build no goddamn walls, who didn't trust the man. That's us. Hey, yo, watch this though.
And I will clothe him with thy robe.
I will clothe him with thy robe. You can put the truth on him, because he always leave a remnant. Most I always leave a rip, like a remnant, and he gave it to the man Eliakim. You know? Which I spiritually think he a top dog. You know?
And strengthen him.
And strengthen him in his household, everything he got. He ain't gonna be caught up like these other fucking niggas, man. You know?
With thy girdle.
With thy girdle. You know? So he gonna put that whole body of armor on him.
And I will commit the government in his hand.
He gonna give the government unto him. He gonna be one of the heads of the government. Eliakim was a deep dude, you know? He gave him the government. Look, man, you gonna be in charge of these men. I'm gonna put the spirit on you because Jerusalem about to be destroyed. All these people, they just going astray. You niggas building walls, man. The Great Wall of China couldn't say these niggas, man. Keep going, bro.
And he shall be the father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
He gonna be one of the top dudes of Jerusalem. Keep going, bro.
And to the house of Judah.
And to the house of Judah. Keep going.
And the keep.
No, keep going. Fuck.
And the keep of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder.
Read that back, please.
And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder.
The Lord gave Eliakim the key of the house of David. He gave him the keys of the kingdom, man. The Most High gave him. He like, look, now I'm gonna give you the keys that I gave to David. I'm gonna give it to you. What? The keys the key to open these doors, man. The key to come in this truth, man. You know, the key to get the fuck up out of here. The key of salvation. He gave it to him, man. Read that part again. About the sharp, man.
And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder.
I was lay upon his shoulder, man. That's deep, man. Keep going, bro.
So he shall open.
He shall open it.
And none shall shut.
Yeah, and none shall shut, because that's why. Because in the ancient world, either they used to always go to the priest and say, "Look, man, can I do this? Like, am I going off and doing this?" And he the man that tells you if you're going off and on. So he said, "I'm gonna give you the key that what."
And the key of the house of David I will lay upon his shoulders. So he shall open, and none shall shut.
And none shall shut.
And
So-
he shall shut, and none shall open.
right.